All right. Usually after work would be nap time, but now that we're on the grind, it is Kendama commentary time. Now, I was gonna go outside after work today, but it was quite rainy outside despite the light that you'll see coming in through the display cabinet. But yeah, girlfriend and I both got full-time jobs for the summer here, so it feels good to be productive. Nonetheless, it's always a good time to play some Dama. Now, we're going for the border balance today, which is definitely a tricky one, and at least it's one that I can practice inside. Like I said, I wanted to go for the goon. Ooh, scooting that mat over a little bit there. Wanted to go for the goon, but, rain, wetness, Dama, not a good combo, so warming up here before we take on the border balance. Also, while we're warming up, keep you in the know, I do have a Lego order on the way, currently being brought to me by FedEx, so hopefully they keep their pace up and I can unbox that for you Friday. Stick around for that. Also, update, I mentioned, maybe you don't know, but I did mention that I started trying to resell some random junk on Kijiji and eBay local listings, and I sold a barbecue tool set that had the tongs, the corn holders, the skewers, all the good stuff. We made a sale, so that's the update on the life, and now let's get to the Kendama fun time. So of course, before you go for anything like the border balance, you gotta warm up for at least 5 minutes. The juggles, the whirlwinds, the inward whirlwinds, those have been some of my favorites for the warm-ups. Also the sweet special, I love doing that during the warm-ups. Gets the fingers, the legs, the knees, the arms, the elbows moving, and just gets the blood flowing. Started going for some double, triple Ken flip juggles just at the end here. Wasn't able to hit any of them, but it was enough motivation to, get my stuff together and move on to the border balance that we were chasing today. When you're getting into the border balance, I found, as I'll mention with the clips progressing here, the knees didn't seem to help me as much as I thought they would. What really helped me was catching the spike on the Tama at its apex, not letting it come down onto the Tama, and you'll see as I move forward and get a couple good attempts in, it is all about meeting the spike at that apex, and the Tama will come to rest. Sorry, the Ken will come to rest almost on its own without the need. Of course, the knees help, but I found it wasn't the most essential factor when nailing down the border balance. Now, the border balance itself is a pretty straightforward trick, and at this point, I don't really know what I'm going for. I'm just looking to find what works for me, how to pull it up, how to catch it, etc., etc. At this stage, I'm just in experimentation. I'll let you know what worked for me, but sometimes the Ken just wants to go full Spider-Man. That's a bit of a wrench in the monkey wheel, but you just play it off and it'll untangle itself, right? Yeah, not always. Yeah, here's your lesson. Don't put off your problems till later because you'll have to fix them eventually. But we're able to get right back into it, and that wasn't a bad attempt there. It's kind of around this time that I'm realizing I don't know how well I'm going to be able to catch and then balance the border balance for like a long period of time. So what I started chasing was kind of just what I'll call a border balance stall, where I'd want to get that pause and then try to go right to spike, because I think that's a good first step in learning border balance, and you'll see it started to go pretty well for me. Another thing that I started experimenting with is which way I should pull up the Ken. Should I pull it up in a way that the cups are like facing me, or the cups are like parallel to me? So should I be looking at a cup or should I be looking in between them? That kind of makes a difference when you need to balance it, because the Ken tends to lean, with the cups, if that makes sense. So, if you're more comfortable balancing left to right versus forward and back, that was something I was experimenting with a lot of this time. And while some may say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result, that's basically exactly what I did, but made tiny adjustments here and there, again, just to see what's going to work. And it's at this point, again, that I decided the border balance stall was the way that we were going, so that kind of gave me a confidence boost. knowing that that's something I could actually hit, because the full-on border balance, I don't think I could squeeze into a 30-minute after work, tired, sleep-deprived, hungry session. Especially when I'm wearing my work clothes. Like, come on, a guy's got to be comfortable, right? A lot of the time, my hand just wanted to catch the spike in Airplane 2. I guess old habits do die hard, and that happened more than I'd like to admit. I just had this urge to spike it, and I don't know why. As with any kind of balance trick like Lighthouse or whatever, I think it's a good idea to place the Ken onto the Tama in that position to get your feel for your balance. I should have done that more. I recommend you do it more, but I really just wanted to get the clip that I wanted. I felt, I could get it if I kept trying, and maybe sometimes the grind mentality is good, but I think sometimes I'd recommend taking it slow, putting in that balance point, and that can really help you nail it down even quicker. I realized that I was having the most success and it worked best for me when I did that pull-up with the cups to my sides. So small cup on my left, big cup on my right, and me facing them head on like this. That way I was able to, showing with my body here how it looks, that way I was able to see better where the Ken was going, because I found if the cups were lined up, it was hard to kind of judge where they were gonna balance out and stuff. So that's my tip. I mean, it worked better for me, but you do whatever works best for you. I like the cups side by side. One last little tip I can give you here. I found it was a lot easier when I pulled up by pulling the Tama a bit kind of towards me, like I'm showing here, rather than pulling it straight up and down. If I pulled it towards me, I found it gave the Ken a nice little kind of curved arch up to just nest the tip perfectly on the Tama. But if I pulled up, it would come down a lot harder and faster and make the trick more difficult. So yeah, that's my last little tip. Give it a nice pull up and towards you rather than just pulling the Ken straight up. A few more pretty straightforward attempts here, but this one was one of those ones where the Ken just hits you in a way that strikes a nerve and sends a shockwave through your entire body, and you just feel your soul sprinkling out of your fingertips like a glitter bomb. That was one of those, but we were back in action pretty quick, so no complaint. With many attempts under my belt and my mom hollering for dinner time, I was able to get a little border balance stall and then into spike. It wasn't, of course, the prettiest, but I consider it a success. It was a major step for me towards learning border balance, and I'm happy. That's it for this Kendama commentary. I hope you did enjoy, and almost forgot to sign off. Have a good one. Peace.